It's what I can do. My husband was very sick for a long time, and then he died. And he didn't pass away, he died. And I didn't think I could ever work again. We were so close, and he.
Mitzi Gaynor was one of the most talented performers to ever come out of Hollywood's golden age. Her story has often been told through movies, shows, and interviews, but what came out after her death in October 2024 gave people a whole new look at her life. Mitzi's family, who had always kept many personal details private, finally decided to speak out about the secrets she carried for decades. Among the things they found in her Beverly Hills home were letters, gifts, and even land documents connected to Howard Hughes, one of the most powerful men in Hollywood during the 1940s and 1950s. Mitzi had been only 18 years old when Hughes, who was 44 at the time, became obsessed with her. Their connection, once hidden, played a role in her choices and may have shaped her career in ways the public never knew. But beyond the secrets with Hughes, Mitzi's story is about determination, hard work, and a love for performing that never left her. From her early days in a poor immigrant family to becoming a star of film, stage, and television, her journey shows both the struggles and the sparkle of old Hollywood. Mitzi Gaynor was born Francesca Marlene de Chagny von Gerber on September 4, 1931, in Chicago. Her parents, Henry and Pauline, were Hungarian immigrants who came to America looking for a better life. They had noble blood from their family line, but no money when they arrived. Her father had once played music on the streets of Budapest to survive, and her mother had been a dancer who wanted freedom from strict traditions. Growing up, Mitzi saw both struggle and art around her. Even when her family was short on money, music and dancing filled their small apartments. They moved several times when Mitzi was young, including to Elgin, Illinois, and later to Detroit. These moves were not easy, but they gave her new chances to perform and train. By the time she was 4 years old, Mitzi was already learning ballet in Chicago. At 7, she gave her first solo performance. Though she was so nervous, she had an embarrassing accident on stage. Instead of giving up, she went back out to perform again, teaching her an early lesson about courage. Those childhood experiences, though difficult, gave her the strength she would need to chase her dreams in Hollywood. As she grew, Mitzi's talent stood out. At the age of 12, she secretly entered a talent contest in Detroit and stunned everyone with her dance routine. She won first prize and caught the attention of talent scouts. Soon after, she was offered a chance to join the Los Angeles Civic Light Opera, which meant moving closer to Hollywood. Even though she was very young, Mitzi trained as hard as adults, sometimes practicing for 8 to 10 hours a day. She danced in stage shows, performed at army camps during World War II, and slowly built a reputation as a rising star. Her parents divorced during these years, which made life more difficult, but her dedication to performance helped her family survive. By the mid-1940s, she was performing in major productions and showing a level of discipline far beyond her age. Her big break came in 1949 when she signed a 7-year contract with 20th Century Fox. She was only 18 at the time. The studio even changed her name from Francesca von Gerber to Mitzi Gaynor because they thought it sounded more glamorous. That decision marked the beginning of her Hollywood career and her path toward stardom. Her first major movie role came in 1950 with My Blue Heaven, where she acted alongside Betty Grable. Even though she was still a teenager, Mitzi's energy and charm made audiences love her. She followed that role with other films such as Take Care of My Little Girl, 1951, and Golden Girl, 1951, which earned her a Golden Globe nomination. She quickly became known for her dancing, singing, and bright personality. Yet, behind the spotlight, she faced personal challenges. Injuries were common for her because of her demanding dance routines. She broke toes, ankles, and even suffered a serious fall in 1952 while filming Bloodhounds of Broadway. Still, she never gave up. Her work ethic and positive spirit helped her keep moving forward. During the 1950s, Mitzi starred in several films, including The I Don't Care Girl and There's No Business Like Show Business. Each role proved she could bring both talent and heart to the screen. Her biggest breakthrough, however, came in 1958, when she was chosen over more famous actresses to play Nellie Forbush in South Pacific. That role would forever define her career. South Pacific was a turning point for Mitzi Gaynor. The film was a massive success, earning millions at the box office and becoming one of the most beloved musicals of its time. Mitzi's performance, especially her famous number "I'm Gonna Wash That Man Right Out of My Hair," became iconic. Unlike many stars of that era, she insisted on singing her own songs rather than using a voice double, which made her performance even more special. But while audiences saw the glamour, Mitzi was often hard on herself. She believed the camera did not flatter her, and worried that her acting was not good enough. Despite her doubts, she earned a Golden Globe nomination and became one of Hollywood's brightest stars. Her success led to more opportunities, including films that tested social boundaries, such as Happy Anniversary, 1959, where she played a wife who openly discussed infidelity. During a time when Hollywood avoided such topics, Mitzi was bold enough to take risks. This made her not only a star, but also a performer who was willing to push against tradition. By the 1960s and 1970s, Mitzi had moved beyond films into television and Las Vegas shows. She became one of the highest-paid performers in Vegas, earning up to $50,000 a week. Her acts mixed comedy, ballet, glamorous costumes, and surprises that thrilled audiences. She also created 9 television specials between 1968 and 1978, which attracted millions of viewers. Some of these shows touched on real-life issues, such as women's unequal pay, while others focused on humor and spectacle. Her costumes, often designed by Bob Mackie, became legendary for their style and boldness. Mitzi was not afraid to perform routines that challenged social norms. And though some groups criticized her for being too sexy, her fans adored her. She even performed alongside the Beatles on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964, placing her at the center of a cultural shift between old Hollywood and the new rock and roll era. During this period, she also performed for troupes, appeared in comedy sketches, and toured the world, proving her versatility as a performer. While Mitzi's professional life was full of lights and applause, her personal life was deeply tied to her marriage with Jack Bean, whom she married in 1954. Jack had once been an actor, but he soon left his career to manage hers full-time. Their marriage lasted for more than 50 years until his death in 2006. Together, they built a life that mixed business and love. They never had children, a decision that surprised many. But Mitzi later explained that a family might have ended her career. Their relationship was not without struggles. Jack could be jealous, especially of her male co-stars and dancers, and at times their fights even affected her work. Still, they stayed together and supported each other through the ups and downs of show business. After his death, Mitzi often said she still felt his presence and continued to wear his wedding ring on a bracelet. She remained devoted to his memory, managing their estate and honoring his role in her life until her own passing decades later. The part of Mitzi Gaynor's story that remained hidden for so long involved Howard Hughes. In the late 1940s, when she was just starting her career, Hughes became fascinated with her. He showered her with gifts, jewelry, and even encouraged her to buy land in Las Vegas, which later turned out to be a very smart investment. At one point, he even proposed to her, though she discovered he had also proposed to many other women. She ended things, later joking that she was young and beautiful but not foolish. She kept some of the jewelry he gave her for decades, even wearing the pieces in interviews. After her death, her family revealed these items, along with letters that showed how deeply Hughes had tried to pull her into his world. While some of these details were known in rumors, the confirmation gave fans a new perspective on her early years. It also showed how much pressure she faced as a young actress, in an industry where powerful men often tried to control women's careers. Her decision to walk away from Hughes and choose her own path showed her independence and strength, which became central to her life story. Mitzi Gaynor lived a long, extraordinary life filled with both challenges and triumphs. She made 17 films, won Emmy nominations for her television specials, and became a legend in Las Vegas entertainment. Even in her later years, she kept performing, writing a book called Razzle Dazzle, My Life Behind the Sequins in 2009, and touring with a stage show of the same name. She also supported charities, mentored young performers, and shared her love of cooking and humor in interviews. When she passed away peacefully in 2024 at the age of 93, she left behind not just wealth and fame, but a legacy of strength, resilience, and joy. The secrets her family shared after her death, especially about her connection to Howard Hughes, added another layer to her already fascinating story. But more than the scandals, people remembered her sparkle, her laughter, and her ability to keep going no matter what life threw at her. Mitzi Gaynor's truth was not just about the secrets she carried, but about the courage she showed in turning her struggles into triumphs, and in shining on stage for nearly a century. To fully understand Mitzi Gaynor's journey, it helps to look at the time when she rose to fame. Hollywood in the 1940s and 1950s was both glamorous and unforgiving. Studios controlled almost every part of an actor's life, from what roles they played to what they wore in public. For women, especially, the pressure was even greater. Young actresses were often told how to look, act, and even whom to date. It was not unusual for studio executives to arrange relationships to boost publicity. In this environment, Mitzi had to balance her own personality with the expectations of the industry. She was naturally funny, independent, and outspoken. But studios often tried to make her fit into the perfect star image. Unlike some actresses who felt trapped, Mitzi managed to bring her humor and individuality into her work, which made her stand out. Her playful attitude, combined with her serious dedication to rehearsals and performance, gave her a special balance that audiences adored. One of the strongest examples of Mitzi's influence came from her Las Vegas years. When she first began performing there, the city was still growing as an entertainment capital. In the 1960s, Vegas was known for big names like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Elvis Presley. Most headliners were men, and women were usually singers in nightclubs or dancers in the background. Mitzi changed that. She became one of the few female stars to headline her own Vegas shows with full productions built around her talent. These shows were not just concerts. They were complete experiences with costume changes, comedy sketches, and big dance numbers. Her energy on stage was unmatched, and she created a space where audiences came not just to gamble, but to enjoy world-class entertainment. By the time her career in Vegas reached its peak, she was earning as much as the biggest names in music. That success was especially impressive considering the gender gap in the entertainment industry. Her television specials also played a huge role in shaping her legacy. Between 1968 and 1978, Mitzi produced 9 specials that aired on major networks. These shows became annual events, drawing millions of viewers. Unlike many variety shows of the time, Mitzi's specials were known for their creativity and boldness. She performed in elaborate sets, wore sparkling costumes designed by Bob Mackie, and mixed dance, comedy, and music into a single program. Some shows even included controversial themes, like her take on women's rights and pay equality. While a few critics thought she went too far, most fans loved her fearless style. Her ability to take chances while still entertaining families showed her versatility. These specials were also important because they kept her in the spotlight after she stopped making films. In fact, for many younger fans, Mitzi Gaynor was not the movie star from South Pacific, but the dazzling performer they watched on TV every year. The Howard Hughes chapter of Mitzi's life deserves more attention because it reveals how difficult it was for women in Hollywood to keep their independence. Hughes was one of the most powerful men of his time. He controlled film studios, airlines, and real estate, and he had a reputation for chasing young actresses. Many women who became involved with him found their careers shaped, or sometimes ruined, by his influence. For Mitzi, Hughes offered gifts, promises, and even proposals of marriage. At first, she may have felt flattered by his attention, especially since she was still a teenager when their connection began. But over time, she realized that Hughes was trying to control her life. Unlike some women who gave in to his demands, Mitzi chose to walk away. She kept the jewelry and land he gave her, but she never let him dictate her career. This decision showed her strength at a time when it was not easy for young actresses to resist powerful men. After her death, the discovery of Hughes's letters and gifts in her home reminded fans that behind her smile, Mitzi was constantly making difficult choices to protect her freedom. Another part of Mitzi's story that deserves recognition is her ability to stay relevant across decades. Many performers from her era had short careers, shining bright for a few years before fading away. Mitzi, however, kept reinventing herself. In the 1950s, she was the young rising star of musicals. In the 1960s, she became a TV variety star. In the 1970s, she ruled Las Vegas stages. Even in the 1980s and 1990s, she toured and performed live shows that kept fans entertained. Then, in 2009, she released her book Razzle Dazzle, My Life Behind the Sequins, which gave readers an inside look at her career and personal life. At nearly 80 years old, she was still performing